Hi everyone, Mark Spivey is my name, and I'd like to welcome you to my first video on microphone technique. So what I'm going to do is just introduce you to this particular microphone. It's a SM58 made by Shure. It's pretty well industry standard. Most live sound production companies have at least half a dozen of these. For the stage work, they're very good, they're very rugged, and they are an excellent microphone. This microphone is a cardioid microphone, and that means that the pickup on this has a polar pattern like a heart. Cardioid means heart, heart-shaped, and so if you can imagine from the back of this microphone a heart shape starting and coming around and then going back around to the other side, that effectively means that the sound from this microphone that it picks up, it only comes from the front or from the sides. Okay, you don't get so much from the back, but you do get a lot from the side. This is what's called noise rejection. In other words, if you've got sounds that are running outside of the range of this microphone, it's not going to pick them up as much as a more sensitive microphone. Alright, so that's the first thing about this microphone. The second thing is, how do you use it correctly? Well, some people have it down below their chest or way away from it. You don't want that. Okay? If you're singing into this microphone or speaking and the sound isn't particularly well turned up, which you don't want it to be, because the more sound that you've got turned up from the desk, the more chance you're going to have a feedback. In other words, noise coming from your speakers, coming into the microphone, causing a loop of the sound, and that just accentuates and grows, and you get that horrible scream known as feedback. Right, so what you need to do is you need to be fairly close on it. Now notice how the sound has changed. You've actually picked up most of the sound of my voice. It's a lot deeper and a lot stronger. Now if I go backwards to about here, you see that the sound is a lot thinner, and what you're actually hearing is more from the microphone of the camcorder than what's coming through this microphone and going to the amp and through the speakers. So you need to be nice and close. Okay, you can always have your lips on it, but I prefer just to be a little bit back. Okay, now it doesn't necessarily matter whether you're from the side like this, say if you're playing an instrument like a flute, or if you're directly in front like this. Doesn't matter, it still works effectively. Right, welcome back. Now as you can hear, I've actually turned off the amp, and I'm now going to pull this microphone apart. So we'll just screw the lid off. Okay, this is called the basket, and this basically is a collection of a windshield and a mesh protection. Okay, so obviously you don't want things touching the internals of this, and this is the pickup. So you've got a little bit of foam on there, but basically you don't want your fingers and things getting in there, sand and dirt, so definitely need this on top. Now, if the basket does get dirty, you can just unscrew it and use say a toothbrush or something like that with some warm soapy water, and just give it a scrub, and that'll remove any spit or lipstick or anything else like that. And then basically turn it the right side up, put it somewhere where there's a bit of protection so it's not going to get trodden on, somewhere near the sun so it dries out quickly, and once it's fully dried you can screw it back onto the microphone. Well, that concludes our first lesson and my first time at doing a video. So if you'd like to see more of what we do about how to record your music at home, go to createandrecordmusic.com, and I'll see you there.